Much of the fish ALFRED FISKER brings home in the middle of the night is caught far from Denmark's shores. It's from near the east of Scotland, where his family has been fishing for generations.
This is Dutch waters, this is German waters, this is Norwegian waters, and this is the British zone.
But Brexit could mean European boats are no longer permitted to enter British waters, where Danish fishermen say they catch about 40% of their fish.
Well, the fish don't know where the border is actually. Some years they're in the Norwegian zone, and some years they're in the British zone, and some years more fish in the Danish zone. They have a tendency to move. They really don't care about politics.
The fishing industry has found itself at the heart of the Brexit battle, used as a symbol for everything that taking back control would be about during the 2016 campaign. But a few years later, that promise has turned out to be a huge obstacle in negotiations. That's left coastal communities who depend on fishing fearing for their livelihoods.
I think it will be catastrophic for us. We can't live without access to British waters. It will be catastrophic for our business and for our community, and it will be very bad.
British calls to take back control of their waters after Brexit don't make sense to these fishermen, as they say they've been fishing around the North Sea even before the European Union existed. Sand eel, a type of fish historically and almost exclusively caught by Danish fishermen in waters off the UK, is brought to this factory. Here it's processed into fish meal and oil, providing hundreds of jobs.
On this factory, actually it's not the biggest in the world, it's one of the biggest in the world with a huge capacity and so on. And it's a knowledge that has been built up through the last 50 or 60 years. So of course it's a great importance for us to keep it here.
Denmark and other EU members want a deal between the European Union and the UK that recognizes the historical rights of their fleet to fish in British waters. They've been insisting on a trade-off. If the UK bars others from their waters, they won't allow the British to sell fish freely in the EU market, where most of their catch goes to now.
There's a balance here we need to think about. If you want to have access to a market, you also still need to be able to communicate with people and have a fair discussion about things.
A final decision on who will be permitted to fish where has been deferred until further negotiations between the UK and the EU. That could take years, leaving fishing communities on both sides of the North Sea on the hook. Fleur, Launspach, Jazeera, Thyboron, Denmark.